Hi everyone, today's community group video recapping Sunday's Bible talk in the story of Zacchaeus, and I called the talk The True Seeker. Zacchaeus is this great story of a man who climbs a tree, who's despised, who's hated in society, yet Jesus comes to Jericho, detours just to see him and say to him, the Son of Man has come to seek and save the lost. And the big key idea, the big takeaway was that Jesus transforms lives by seeking and saving lost people like you and me. And so Zacchaeus has 3 points of this story which we looked at. Firstly, we saw what it means to be lost. Secondly, we saw how Jesus transforms. And then we explored what does it look like for us today to be lost and then found in Jesus too. So have a read of the story. Do unpack it in your groups. Notice as well a couple of key features. There's 2 seekers in the story. One who's very obvious, and secondly, the one who is the true seeker, and that's Jesus Christ himself. Notice the details we learn about Zacchaeus' life, how he's despised, how that fits in with the narrative of Luke 18 leading up to that he's a short man, that he's wealthy, that he can't do anything to save himself, that he's curious about Jesus, how he's the culmination of all these different characters so far we've met in Luke's gospel to show us he is the greatest big sinner that there is in Luke's world. Yet, he was seeking after Jesus. And it turns out that Jesus was also seeking after him. Not only that, we saw Zacchaeus' the transformation that Jesus had in Zacchaeus. He was generous. He kept half his wealth, gave the other half away. He gave 4 times back to those he'd already extorted in his life. And the challenge, of course, isn't that we should give away our wealth in that particular way, though it may be good for you to reflect upon that. But the key thing is the gospel generosity that Jesus creates in us. This despised man now uses his hands to not steal but to bless, to now earn, to then give back to other people. And that's the transformation Jesus makes in us. The things of this life, our world, our identity, things that we hold on to suddenly lose their grip when Jesus has his grip on us. So Zacchaeus is this great example of being lost and found, how the story of Jesus changes us at our very core. And we see this in 2 ways at the very end, summarized. Firstly, a new heart with new value systems, and secondly, new eyes to view other people. See, Zacchaeus used to extort people. The community around him hated him and despised him, yet Jesus changed that. He now sought to be generous to others because God was generous to him. And he had new eyes in which to see those people too. So the challenge is, do we see people the way the Son of God does in verse 10? For the Son of Man came to seek and save the lost. The gospel cry says, look, Lord, look at what your generosity's done in my life. I'm so thankful for what you've done, Jesus. And looking at other people differently too, seeing as someone who needs the kingdom of God, who is also lost, who I want to be able to bless so that they can come and know this Jesus too, who found me in a tree by going to another tree to seek and save me. Story of Zacchaeus, read it, kick it around, and pray you'll be encouraged in your community group this week. Spend time praying for those who are lost in your life, who don't yet know Jesus, and pray for each other too, that you would be transformed day by day by this same grace that saved Zacchaeus. It would continually be at work saving and making you more like Jesus too. That's the story of Zacchaeus, the true seeker. Have a great week. I'll see you next week.